Hey folks, hope you're doing good today. Got to the end of the week again already. Been a quick week for me on this channel as it normally is, but man, we've had a bunch of cool bands come through this week, mainly because we've had a bunch of my top 10 favorite bands to come through, people we've been keeping an eye on for the last 18 months or so, and we've made a bunch of submissions so that we can do that. They're all doing very nicely as well. Very, very cool. That's going to be the same again today though, which is going to be absolutely dope. We've had most of my favorite people to check out this week and people that we're keeping an eye on, making sure they're going in the right direction. But this is NXXSES back on the channel. He's got a new track for us. He wants to give some shout outs to Ryan Herrera, who we've had on. He did the instrumental. Hayden Crownover for the guitar solo. We've had him on before as well. And this one also features Negative Space, who's going to be on next week's show as a first time being on the show. Very, very cool. Looking forward to that. And Hunter of Demon Defiled, who we've had as well. So we've had all these guys on before, which is very, very cool. But I'm on board with all of these guys and like checking out their music. The one we're going to check out today is called Planetary Devastation Universal Fallout, which is a very deathcore name. So let's give it a spin. Nearly 6 minutes long as well. Yeah. These guys make some of the most disgusting, guttural, gargling noises you can make on purpose. Love it. Yeah. That's a nasty guitar tone as well. He was just stuck the microphone right down his throat. And it's harsh to listen to this music. You feel like you're being just kind of violated. Nice to get some atmospheric stuff behind the solo, that's cool. like doing the vocal with the solo. Love that. Man, such a nasty sound. Do a great job of recording the vocal as well, to get all of that gravel in the throat recorded with a clarity, because they have got a bunch of effects on the vocal as well, but to still get that saliva bubbling in your throat kind of sound to come through the mic, it's a nice recording. Guitar tone as well is just harsh as hell, nasty as hell. It's like a guitar version of their vocals. That's what I'm talking about. Being able to record all that gargling and bubbling of saliva in the back of your throat and God knows what else is a nice recording. Now, some people say they've recorded too much vocal in that one because you don't want to hear that much of the back of someone's throat, but that's what these guys are all about. They love making these kind of noises with their throat and mouth, and I think they purposely try and outdo each other to see who can make the most harshest, nastiest, evil sound, because it sounds like that they're kind of going back and forth who can be the nastiest. But man, they're all 10 out of 10 nasty in this band. Even the guitar tone in this one, and I'm going to say I think I've probably enjoyed this one the most out of all the tracks that we've enjoyed, that we've checked out on the channel, because I think the guitar tone, which I do think was different in this one to the other tracks that we've checked out, as far as I remember anyway. I can't remember it ever being this harsh, and I'd be interested to know what amp sims, because I'm pretty sure it's a digital tone, but I'd be interested to know what amps or amp sims or whatever you've used to get that tone, because it's a different tone. It's an original tone. It's different. It's nasty. It's harsh. It's got a thickness. It's got a scratchiness and a fizzness to it. It's got a depth of distortion, like different layers of distortion built on top of each other. So it's not just one kind of tone of distortion. I thought it sounded great, and it went perfectly with the vocals to just create the nastiest sound you could ever listen to. This music isn't the kind of music you could kind of chill with your girlfriend with, or show to your granny, or any of that kind of stuff, because they're going to go, what the hell's wrong with you listening to that stuff? But if you're into this kind of stuff, and you like guys that are really pushing it with their throats, and trying all the different techniques that you can to create a distortion within your throat, yeah, these guys are taking it to the next level. I really, really dig it. And when they can get the guitar tone just as nasty as those vocals, man, they've taken it over the top, because the drums are great. They're nice and punchy, which is what you want for this kind of music. Good cymbal sound and everything else. So yeah, just making that guitar tone super nasty as well, just as nasty as the vocal, means I think you've taken it as far as it'll go now. Although I say that next time they'll have probably ramped it up even harder. So yeah, I love checking out this guy and his posse of mates that all get on board and they love making music together. I love seeing that as well. So yeah, super dope. Nice way to finish off the week, which has been a great week on the channel for me personally. Whether you've enjoyed the bands or not, I hope you have. But for me personally, a bunch of people have rolled through the channel this last week or the last couple of weeks who are people who've been on the channel for absolutely ages. They like all the posts. I've spoken to them outside of the show, and you know, they're just the bands that I love to keep an eye on, and I'm always liking their posts and stuff like that, because I feel with some people, some bands just come through on the show, we see them once, and you know, we won't see them again till maybe their next release or something like that, but you know, they've just kind of passed through and we've checked them out. But there's some other bands and people that have got on board with the show who are kind of, you know, part of the show now. They might not be on with me every day and stuff like that, but they're part of the community that I'm building here, or trying to build at least, where, you know, they're kind of checking out the bands, liking some of the bands, you know, they're not really into, but whatever, they've checked them out anyway to see if they like them. And they, you know, they're into the channel, they're into the checking out new music, they're into underground bands, and because they're part of the underground community themselves, you know, they feel part of, you know, when you're in the underground, one thing I've always liked about the underground is it does feel like a kind of brotherhood, you know, separate to the guys that have made it and got record deals and all of that, because you're all in the same boat in the underground, and there's a kind of kinship that comes with that. I've always felt that, I still feel it today, and I feel it with the bands that have got on board with the show, and I'm sure they feel it as well. Super dope. Really enjoyed this week and getting on board and, you know, rehashing with a bunch of bands that I really like to check out. So there you go. Hope you've had a good week yourselves as well. Tomorrow going to be back with the Monday grind. If you want to get on this channel next week, head over to the website and make a priority submission. We'll get your band on as well and talk about them, and maybe you can get on board and be part of the, you know, the inside circle. But there you go. Hope you had a good week, guys. We'll see you around tomorrow. Cheers. Bye.